Have you ever wondered what it's really like to sail to other countries? To dive amazing locations and explore the world on a yacht? Then come with us.
This is Wanaka, and it is the most spectacular view from the B&B. And we have somehow absolutely jagged the weather. Check that out.
We're enjoying the view and drinking some kiwi wine. As we were enjoying the sunset and of course our wine, we received a text telling us that tonight we should be able to see the southern lights, the Aurora Australis.
Hold you like a child. When winter breaks the fall wide open, I find a way to keep it mild.
Off on a helicopter, my favourite thing to do, to land on a glacier. And we have jagged the weather again. The South Island is being awesome to us. How cool is that?
This is the main divide in front of us here. So this is what separates east from west, and is caused by the two tectonic plates meeting, pushing together and creating mountain ranges. You can see out in front of us here now. Right on the ridge there's a few chamois, I think. Just in that little hump just out to our left. You can see them running up the hill there. This is the Isobel Glacier we're coming into here now, guys. I'll make my way down and make a landing with you here shortly.
Wow!
It's crunching under your feet as you're walking along. That's enough, that's enough. There's always one, isn't there? It's amazing to think this is the start of a glacier. They said we didn't need to bring up puffies or our jackets or anything, but I've got to say it's actually pretty cold. It's pretty fresh up here. I'm guessing it's probably, I don't know, 5 degrees or something like that, but it's quite remarkable. How close to the edge are you getting?
Whacked it in the ice. Had a drink.
And she wants champagne.
Yeah, looking at the view and Denise wants champagne. That's coming.
Yeah.
Just in the time we've been sitting here.
Yeah, there was no cloud, was there?
Yep.
No, here it comes.
I don't think that's going to make home.
We left Wanaka on the 2.5 hour drive, heading northeast to Mount Cook.
This is Lindy's Pass Lookout on the way to Mount Cook. Very dry, very barren. Technically it's a desert, but you can see why up here.
Very blue.
Glacier's grinded it down and it's like so fine, it's almost like a flour that's like a flour consistency that's
Right.
suspended in the water, and the little tiny little
Particles.
particles actually reflect the sunlight. Sorry, the blue of the sky.
Right. Denise, how's that colour?
Beautiful, and that's Mount Cook in the distance, which is where we're going.
Amazing. Well, we're here at the Hermitage Hotel, just at the base of Mount Cook, which is just up there. A little bit hidden at the moment from cloud cover, but not only have we got the mountains, we've also got the glaciers, and we're doing our glacier tour this afternoon in a boat, which should be interesting. It's only a short 15-minute bus ride from the Hermitage Hotel to the Tasman Glacier.
So welcome out to my office. Not a terrible view from the window. Now as we go around, we're going to sit here for a moment. I'll tell you about the area, and then we're going to go up, have a look at some ice before making our way up toward the terminal face of the glacier. They then float around the lake and they move mostly with the wind. What we see on the surface is only 10%. So there is 9 times all of that underneath the water. Rebalance is by just flipping over on top of themselves. So we don't see it happen too often, but it definitely does happen. So as a result, we never go too close to the big ones. Or how it has rebalanced. So see how on the left hand side, there's that little peak. So that at some point, probably overnight, would have been the old 10%. But the whole iceberg has rolled over, and everything from the right hand side was the old 90%. So it gives you an example of just how big they are beneath the surface. There's a wee bit of a shelf in there, so we won't sit for too long. But you can see now that we're nice and close that it is not one solid piece of ice, but is actually made up of millions of individual crystals. So when this piece of ice first rolled over, the ice would have been incredibly dense, about 3 times denser than anything we could ever compress or make ourselves. So it would have looked like one solid chunk, and that is the blue ice that you see on the icebergs. Now as it spends time in the sun, the air bubbles trapped inside begin to expand, and they crack the ice apart into these beautiful individual crystals. Alrighty, I'll try to turn us around to the other side. But yeah, so this little indent here that you can see, that was where the water level used to be. So everything from here, that was the 10%. But remember, this is still only 10%. So welcome up to the terminal face. The entire wall from one side of the valley all the way across to the other, that is all ice. So it is about 1.5 kilometers from side to side, which is the same distance you walked from the car park all the way into the lake today. But perspective is one of the hardest things to judge out here. So yeah, 1.5 across. Now what we see above the water from lake to the top on average is about 30 meters tall. So that is still a 10-story, good spotting. That wasn't as loud as it normally is. I'll get back to that in a second. But keep your eyes on it, you never know. Now, so 30 meters above are still a 10-story building worth of ice. But if you remember, I said at the beginning, it is 272 meters to the bottom here. So drain out the lake, that is a near 300 meter wall of ice. Just there.
That air's really quite warm.
Yeah, it is.
was your glacier experience?
Yes, that was the Tasman Lake in Mount Cook National Park, with Mount Cook as the background. And it wasn't what I expected, as has the entire South Island been. Really interesting. Saw a little bit of ice carve off, but yeah, cool. But not cold. Cool, but not cold.
I think like the rest of the South Island of New Zealand, it's just been fantastic. On the 22nd of February 2011, Christchurch was changed forever. This city is accustomed to earthquakes, but the scope of the devastation was on an entirely new level. There was billions of dollars of damage that would take more than a decade to repair. A third of all buildings in the CBD were either destroyed or had to be removed. And then we need to remember the human cost. Over 185 people died, with over 115 of those being in the CTV building, which can be seen in the background. Sadly, 24 hours after the earthquake, no more survivors were found alive. A number of suburbs were also devastated by liquefaction, a process where the shaking of the ground brings groundwater and silt to the surface. It's hard to believe walking down this road that this, and really the entire suburb around here, was so badly affected by the earthquake in February of 2011 that the whole area was deemed to be too unstable to possibly rebuild. And all this is just a suburban street surrounded by houses. All the houses are now gone, and these were people's front and backyards. It's just extraordinary, especially when you see the size of the land. So this has all been deemed a red zone and can never be built on again. This is Avonside in 2011, and now in 2022. This is Keller Street just after the cleanup, and today it's just so hard to come to terms with this being a normal suburban area. We then headed from Christchurch to Dunedin to return our hire car and seek out the world's steepest residential street. We always thought it was the famous Lombard Street in San Francisco. But no, not even close. Welcome to Baldwin Street in Dunedin. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, its 34.8 degree ratio crowns it the steepest street in the world. Now we have to walk back down. Join us next week, more romantic sailing, as we hard install our Starlink antenna and we prepare the boat for Tonga.
Passengers are not the time to die.
Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and place a comment below.